Well, good morning to you all and welcome to the Sudoku channel. This is Oliver coming to you from Youghal by the Sea in Ireland over here in Europe. And this is part 2 of a two-part. Part 1, you'll find a link down below in the comments to part 1 where you'll see how we solved, as far as we could go, this Sudoku puzzle called Diabolical from the 23rd of July 2021 in the Telegraph newspaper, and its sequence number is 5564. This is as far as we got. It's looking fairly straightforward from here. If you haven't done either X-Wings or chains, there are links below. I have a whole load of tutorials on those, and it'll be well worthwhile going down and have a look at them. Now, there is one here that I think is called a Y-Wing. I actually think about it as a chain. And it is if you start here with the 7. So the Y-Wing is a 6-7 here, a 6-9, and a 9-7. And it is where you have three, it's like a bent triple. That's what some people call it as well, a bent triple. And it means you can get rid of this 7. Now, I can only prove it in terms of the chains. So if you start off here with a 7, and we say if there's no 7 there, then this one must be the 6. If that's a 6, then this cannot be a 6. And if that's not a 6, then this must be a 9. And if that's a 9, then we can't have a 9 here. We must have a 7. So not having a 7 there causes us to have a 7 here. Now if you go the other way around, not a 7 means it's a 9, which means this is not a 9, which means it's a 6, which means this is not a 6, it's a 7. So either way, one or other of these will be a 7, which means we can't have a 7 here. And that, I think, will solve the whole puzzle at this stage. But there are a lot of other chains, and it's well worthwhile just to run around this and try and find if you can see another chain. So, for example, again, if you start here with a 7, not a 7, a 6, not a 6, a 6. If that's a 6, then this is not a 6, it's a 7. If that's a 7, this is not a 7. And if that's not a 7, then this is a 7. So we're going exactly the same way from not a 7 there to it being a 7 here, so we can get rid of this 7 as well. Okay, it's handy to run around as an exercise every now and then and just try and find chains. But we'll start off with the simple one here that probably everyone would have had, which was we can get rid of this 7 here. So we'll get rid of that one, which means this now must be a 6. If that's a 6, this must be a 7. If that's a 7, this cannot be a 7, it must be a 9, which is how we proved the other one anyway. Okay, 6 means we can't have a 6 here, and if we don't have a 6 there, then we must have the 6 down here. This must be the 6 because there's only 2 6s here. So we make that one a 6. Now in this one here, we only have the single 7 left, so that must be the 7 for that house. Can't have a 7 here, it must be a 9, and we get rid of this 7 here. That 9 means that this is not a 9, so it must be a 6. That being a 6 means this must be a 3. And if that's a 3, this is not a 3, and I can't remember, did we have something in there before? We probably did. But anyway, what's left is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 7. We're missing a 7 there, so we'll stick in a 7 there. Now, this 9 will give us a 7 up here. And that 7 will give us a 9 here. And that 9 will give us a 7 over here. And that 7 gives us a 9. Ooh, where do we go from here? Oh, of course, 9 here means that we can't have a 9 up here. Get rid of that 9. So this then becomes a 9, not a 2. This becomes a 2, not a 3. This becomes the 3, not a 1. Which means this one then becomes the 1. That 1 means we won't have 1 here, and the 1 is going to be down here. That's the 1, and that's the 2. That'll be it finished. And just get rid of all the colours. Right, well, if you just came to this video and you saw this as being a diabolical, you'd probably say, oh, that's nothing. Right. So go down and have a look at the comments and go back and have a look at video 1. But in terms of diabolical Sudoku puzzles, this is by no means the worst that we've come across. It was fairly straightforward. But then again, if you're a beginner and if you don't know about Y-Wings and if you don't know about chains, you would have found this impossible to do. So it is a nice learning exercise for people. Anyway, Look, thanks for watching. There will be another one out in about a week's time, another Diabolical from the archives. I don't know what number it's going to be, but it'll be back from July 2021. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more difficult than this one was. So until we meet again, oh, don't forget, subscribe, hit the bell, comments, thumbs up, all greatly appreciated. So I'll see you again in about a week. Until then, Slán Tamil.